Alright, so we need to solve this inequality, and we're going to have to do some distribution because we've got a lot of multiplication on both sides. Over on the left side, just a straightforward distribution. This 6x is going to get multiplied with everything inside the set of parentheses. So 6x times x is 6x squared, and 6x times negative 7 is negative 42x. Now over on the right side, we actually have three things we need to multiply together. And in algebra, what we do is just focus on two of the things that we're multiplying, and then we come back and we finish by multiplying by the third. So what I'm going to choose to do is to multiply these two things together first, these two factors, and then come back and multiply everything in the end by 2. So start by distributing. 3x needs to be multiplied with everything in this second set of parentheses. So 3x times x is 3x squared, and 3x times negative 8 is negative 24x. Now that 3x has been multiplied with everything in the second set, come back and grab this negative 1. It also gets multiplied with everything in the second set. So negative 1 times x is negative x, and negative 1 times negative 8 is a positive 8. So clean this up a little bit. 6x squared minus 42x over on the left, that doesn't change, is less than 2 times, and combine like terms for the things that you just multiplied together, 3x squared, combine the negative 24x and the negative x, so minus 25x plus 8. Now come back and do the third factor, so we're going to multiply everything by 2. This becomes 6x squared minus 42x is less than 6x squared, so I'm multiplying the 2 with the 3x squared, the 2 with the negative 25x, which is negative 50x, and then 2 times 8, which is 16. Okay, since our equation says x squared, I'm going to try to move everything over to one side. But when I do that, my x squareds actually cancel out. So I'm left with negative 42x is less than negative 50x plus 16. So now I'm going to isolate my variable. So I'm going to get the x's on one side. So I'm going to add 50x to both sides. And my equation now becomes 8x is less than 16. Okay, get the term all by itself, for the variable all by itself. Divide both sides by 8. X is less than 2. When I go to put this on the number line, two is my endpoint. So it is my boundary. It's the number that separates this from numbers I'm allowed to use for x and numbers I'm not allowed to use for x. One of the things you can do to determine which side of the number line you're supposed to use is actually test a number. So over here we've got numbers that are bigger than 2, like 3, 4, or 5. You could plug one of those numbers in for x. So let's say 3. I plug it in for x and it says 3 is less than 2. Well, that is a false statement, so that means this side of the boundary, or this side of the number line, is where all of the x values are that I can use for this inequality. And since I'm not allowed to use 2 itself, I use a parenthesis to indicate that boundary point. I hope you found this helpful.